Engineering students quite literally lose their heads during exam season, abusing caffeine and sleep depriving themselves. But during this suffering, what you fail to realize is that these very topics that you're studying is information that has been accumulated over the past thousands of years by the greatest minds of history. This information that you're studying is now accelerating humanity towards an unbelievable future. But modern engineering students forget this essential purpose due to school and especially exams. And for these exact reasons, you must approach your exam season carefully. One of the hardest classes that I've had to take in university was Fluid Mechanics 2. It was where I was studying Navier-Stokes equation, differential analysis. Shit, I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it. And I learned a very important lesson during the first midterm for that course. I wrote the midterm. All was well. I was like, okay, I probably did pretty good on this exam. I walked out of the exam hall and I came back probably like a week later and I see my exam mark. Holy shit, was it fucked. I passed, but it was a terrible mark. On the solutions, I saw assume constant density. On the solutions, I saw assume laminar flow, assume no slip condition, all of this kind of shit. And I was fucking pissed. I was like, how am I supposed to know? But the only reason I was pissed and the only reason that I thought like this was because I was thinking like an engineering student. I was thinking like a student, not an engineer. An engineer makes assumptions before he answers. What I was doing, I was taking the information I was given, and then I was just straight up trying to solve it. But what an engineer does, he takes the information in, he makes some assumptions on some information that they didn't give him, and then he solves the problem. That's what an engineer thinks like. So don't think like a student, think like an engineer. Think like an engineer. What would an engineer do in this specific case? How would he solve this specific problem? Because what's your purpose to go to university? Is to develop your career as an engineer. As an engineer, not to just be a student for 4 years. That's what so many engineering students forget nowadays. They just go to university, try to get the best marks possible, best report card. That's not what engineering is about. And that's where the problem is. When you start studying for exams, you just memorize things. You memorize, oh, I'm gonna use this formula if I see this type of problem. That's not thinking like an engineer. When you study for exams, you're quite literally wiring your brain to think like a student. That's not what you want to think like. It's only when you start thinking like an engineer where you could start making big moves that will develop your career, like making projects, applying for internships, nailing the fucking interview and getting the offer for internships. So when you're ready to make those big moves and you're thinking like an engineer, click the link in the description. I'll guide you along the way while you're just in engineering school. For my 3 years of studying engineering, I've not failed a single exam, not a single midterm exam, not a single final exam. That was until economics class. I know, it's kind of a fucking shitty way to end your streak of not failing exams. But just listen to my story. After studying for like 1 day of this course, I walk into the lecture hall and I write the exam. I'm still, quite frankly, pretty confident in myself and my abilities. I'm like, okay, I've never failed an exam before. Now's not the time that I'm gonna fail an exam. Economics class, I write the exam. I got some long answer, as we're used to. I got some short form answer, like we're used to. And I also get some multiple choice, which is kind of strange. Not much like what we're used to in engineering school, right? You probably know you don't get a lot of multiple choice answers or multiple choice questions in university. And I'm writing this exam, and then the professor, she reminds us that it's negative marking for that multiple choice. I'm like, oh shit. I answer them anyways. And I answer them anyways despite the fact that I only studied for like 1 day. I get out of the exam hall, pretty confident. Done writing that exam. I'll pass it, right? 16% is what I get on that exam. Holy shit, so embarrassing. Economics class. I go from not failing at all, not failing any exams in my 3 years of studying engineering, to failing miserably, getting a 16% 16 on an economics exam. I've studied multivariable calculus, I've studied advanced calculus, advanced thermodynamics, advanced fluid mechanics, and I've failed to economics class. Holy shit. Now I'm not just telling this story to make fun of myself, but there's a specific reason that I failed this exam. Of course I didn't study enough, but I didn't say why I didn't study enough. I was doing client work. Client work for a manager at an engineering company across the fucking globe. I'm here in Canada, and this company was in Germany. I was doing literal freelance work, engineering work, CAD work. The reason that I was able to get freelance clients at the time was because I had a YouTube channel, a separate YouTube channel from this one, where I made projects and I showed my CAD skills and I showed my creative thinking skills. So reasonably, I got some emails coming in like, oh, hey, can you engineer this for me? Oh, hey, can you design something like this for me? And even to this day, I still get emails despite the fact that I don't really post that much on that channel anymore. But what I'm trying to say here is it was kind of worth it to fail that exam. It was kind of worth it to get a shitty grade on that one exam. You know, 100 people may have passed that exam, done way fucking better than me, but there's like 100 of them. Was there 100 people that was doing what I was doing? Working with people over fucking seas, doing real engineering work with clients that reached out to me? Was there hundreds of people doing that? No, fuck no. So I won't regret anything that I did in that situation. Sure, these people may have learned how to answer some questions on a piece of paper, but did they learn how to act with clients? Did they learn how to communicate with customers? Did they learn how to do real engineering work and provide real world solutions? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Grades alone isn't gonna make you stand out. That's what I'm saying here. Grades alone. Everybody has good grades nowadays. Fucking everyone. People cheat for them. People work hard for them. They're all the same. A piece of paper that says AAA doesn't tell a recruiter for an engineering company shit. It doesn't tell them shit. It's gonna take more than grades to succeed in engineering. That's why I do what I do right now. Just mentor people on this platform, mentor people in my program, because I want to help people get out of that mindset of like, oh, just succeed in university and everything will play out. Nah, your grades isn't enough, man. Now, as a disclaimer, of course, I'm not saying fail your classes. Don't fail your classes by all means. I should have spent way more time into studying while I was doing this client work for this manager at the company. I just had bad time management. This is just a story that I wanted to tell, which was very polarizing. That proves my point. Pretengineers are people that I call who cheat on exams, cheat on assignments, abuse AI, plagiarize off of their friends. They don't have any integrity. Zero integrity to engineering. But integrity, ethics, honesty, those are all important pillars to be a great engineer. And when you act without integrity, when you wire your brain to take shortcuts, you're quite literally just setting up your career to be a failure. Because you're always going to have to face difficulties when you're in engineering. And university is a time period where you're supposed to learn how to face these failures, not fucking take shortcuts around them, because you're going to face them later. Now, cheating does not only make you a soft little weakling, but it also affects the customers, the people who your projects affect. I'm talking about engineering disasters. Who do you think are the types of people that cause engineering disasters? People like me and you who act with integrity, don't cheat on exams, or those that do act without integrity? Those who cheat on exams, those who lie on resumes, lie on cover letters, lie when talking face to face with a fucking recruiter. Obviously, these pretengineers are going to be more likely to cause disasters. But as you've seen around you in the lecture hall, maybe even some of your friends are pretengineers. Those guys are literally making up the majority of your cohort of students. Engineering school in the olden days, they used to just write on paper and it was more strict. There wasn't any AI, there wasn't any internet, there wasn't any communication between students digitally so that they could cheat. That's when engineering school was honesty. That's when engineering itself was built off of honesty. Now look what we've become. People using Chegg. Chegg's a platform where you could get homework answers. I'm not telling you to check that site out. And then there's also ChatGPT. People use that to cheat as well. Don't use them. Don't use these dumbass sites. You could use ChatGPT AI, like just to help you as a tool, but don't abuse it to make it get answers for you, for your assignments and your exams. There's right times and right places for AI. But online exams, do not abuse AI for it. But now that I know that you're not a pretensioneer, because you're still here watching this video, agreeing with me, like nodding your head, agreeing like, holy shit, I fucking hate pretensioneers too. That's what you're thinking right now too, right? Yeah. There's also kind of a sad truth to pretensioneers. And the sad truth is that pretensioneers are gonna try to outperform you too. They won't say it. They're gonna be like, oh, it's not a competition or anything. But they're doing the exact same things that you're gonna be doing to develop your career, right? They're gonna be applying for internships. They're gonna be doing interviews. And the same interviews, the same internships that they're gonna be applying for is gonna be the same ones that you're applying for. Their dream internship might be your dream internship as well. And they're gonna use their same dirty little tricks of cheating, lying in interviews, lying on resumes to get your dream position. There was this one time I was in the library, right? And I was just walking, going to get some water, and I eavesdrop on some people. They're talking, they're yapping. And this one guy, he says, dude, I got like no experience on my resume. And he was an engineering student. I recognized him from one of my classes. And I was like, oh, I didn't think much of it. And then I hear one of his other friends tells him, dude, just lie on your resume. I've done that too. To say that you worked at this one engineering company as an intern. Holy shit. I could not feel any more disrespect at that moment for these people. I didn't think much of it again. I was like, okay, whatever. They'll be caught in their lies, right? 2 weeks pass. I was scrolling on LinkedIn, looking at some posts, and I see one of my connections. He liked a post and he commented on a post. And this post had a face which was very familiar. It was the pretensioneer that I heard in the library that lied on his resume. And you know what the post said? The post said that he had an internship. He secured an internship for the summer. Holy fuck. That's what I was thinking at that moment. I was like, this dude fucking lied and he got an internship. Holy shit. I don't think you understand the truth of this, like the depth of this. Because there are other engineering students that are more purposeful than him, that act honestly, unlike this pretensioneer. And these honest engineers, these purposeful engineers, they would have done a way fucking better job than this pretensioneer who I heard in the library lying on his resume. These pretensioneers steal career driving opportunities from the real engineers of this world. Does that not fucking light a fucking flame deep down in your heart? Like, holy shit, that would fucking piss me off if I knew that a pretensioneer took my spot in an intern position. Holy fuck. So it is your responsibility to outperform them and get an internship the right way. Of course, you're not going to cheat. You're not going to lie to get an internship, but these guys will. But you can outperform them. I've done it myself. As I said, got an internship in 2 weeks, despite the fact that I had no experience in the engineering industry, despite the fact that I had no research experience, despite the fact that I had no network pretty much. I still got an internship way faster than anyone in my cohort of students. I want to teach you the way to develop your career the correct way without cheating. Click the link in the description if you feel interested in that. So my summary for this entire video, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but before you write your exams, just remember, think like an engineer, not a student. You're here for your career development as an engineer, not just to be a student. Remember, grades don't mean shit. Grades, just a piece of paper that says A isn't gonna do you any good once you graduate. And lastly, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Acting with integrity is one of the most honorable things you can do as an engineer. So act with integrity. Don't wire your brain to cheat when you're in university, no matter how hard it gets. Engineering school is supposed to be hard. Engineering itself is supposed to be hard. So let's do this, man.